introduction.
I relate to the Romans because part of the Roman cavalry was the Sarmatians, you know, and the Poles style themselves descendants of the Sarmatians. So I'm basically descendant of the late Roman cavalry, and that's why you see a lot of scales on my armor, and they have scale armor as well. So that kind of translated into this. But now this is about 16th century. As you see, they have the catapulta, and what I have is basically a descendant of catapulta, is the crossbow.
Ooh.
I want the bow and arrow.
Yeah, the bow and arrow I also have, and you see this is the 16th century version of AK-47 because it doesn't require a lot of training to teach how to do that, and these are very accurate and fairly easy to make. The archer has to train from very, very young age, from age of 5. They have to start shooting the bow. Now this I can teach a person how to shoot in a matter of weeks. And see, this particular one is about 120-pound pull, which means I can pull it by hand. As you see, I'm going to do just that. And I'm going to span it. Now I have a quiver on my belt that has bolts. Now this is not an arrow, it's a bolt. Okay, yeah, or a quirl. So the quirl sits, and it only has 2 fletches, as opposed to arrows that have 3 fletches. It has 2 fletches, and it fits onto this particular thing. You see, I'm firing at the target.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fairly fast to load, not as fast as the bow, but I can actually shoot it fairly fast. See, the Romans have the straight swords. Us, as horse people, we carry curved blades like this. That's called a shamshir. Now in Poland, shamshir arrived from Persia because we're always fighting Turks and other people. So curved blade works very well off the saddle. And these are fairly light and very fast and very sharp. So as you ride, it's just very easy to bring it from the horse back down and actually slice, produce a slicing cut. In fact, I will demonstrate a slicing cut for you. Using this pumpkin as a target.
Uh-oh. Oh, the pumpkin's dead. Dang about it. Oh!
Woohoo!
Wow. That was amazing.
That's cool.
Now we can make pumpkin pie.
Yay!
You just like slice off your head. Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How we need to get you one of them. No,
Well, the Romans aren't technically the Middle Ages. Now you've entered medieval times. We're in the year 800 AD. We're called Scara Caroli, which means the army of Charles, as in Charlemagne, Charles the Great. And we are putting on a display of life in the year 800 AD. The year Charlemagne was crowned emperor. So, you can meet some of our groups, warriors, ladies, children, and learn about what we eat, how we fight, and what we do to pass the time. Right now, they are doing their hair, which would probably be doing the first thing that Frankish ladies would do in the morning to get themselves ready. And they would usually braid their hair up into two pigtail type things and then wrap them around their head and then tie or sew the braids to their head in like a crown. That would give them a thing that they could put a veil over and then pin the pins through the veil and through the hair, and that would anchor the veil to themselves, and they could go through the entire day without their veil coming off.
Nice.
Very nice. And what are you doing?
I'm starting the preparations for our evening meal, which will be a stew. And the stew will be made entirely from ingredients that were available in Europe in the year 800. It'll be a beef stew with turnips, garlic, parsnips, and spices like cumin, which were not common, but we had access to it because Charlemagne was a worldly guy. He had trading partners throughout the Middle East, and basically boiling the stew for the entire day.
Nice.
Right now we're preparing porridge.
I was gonna say porridge.
Yeah, porridge for breakfast. Nice, hearty, grain-based.
You guys want some porridge?
I've never had porridge.
They're like, no.
It's fairly bland.
Well, it can be, but we usually
You incorporate fruits into it.
fruits and nuts. We usually will be making butter soon,
Ooh.
churning butter, and the buttermilk that's left over we usually pour into the porridge to give it a creamier texture, and that'll be a good morning meal to give us the energy to do our daily routine.
Very cool.
Whether we're out hunting for more meat for tomorrow's meal, or whether we're getting ready to prepare for a raid or a campaign, it would be a good meal to get us going.
I just realized that they turned their tent.
Yeah. That's one of the advantages of the Viking style tent with the frame, is you can pick it up and move it because it's not staked down. Our tents are a little more stationary, so we don't really have evidence that the Franks used a similar style of tent. We do know that they did have stake tents, we call wedge tents, staked to the ground, and so we see that in pictures, in manuscripts and stuff. So we'll try to use as much stuff that we know we have actual physical evidence of.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't find anything, we will go look at neighboring cultures like the Vikings or the Anglo-Saxons or the Germans and Italians to see what they had and see if it would fit our culture. If we can't find anything from a neighboring culture, we will usually go back maybe 100 or 200 years in our own culture to look at what our grandparents and great-grandparents had, and that'll often give us a little bit more to go on, because the Franks during Charlemagne's time were thoroughly Christianized, and the church by that point was telling everybody to bury their dead basically naked, wrapped in a linen shroud, and don't bury any of your worldly goods like your treasures and clothes or anything. So any of the graves that are exhumed from that time period have nothing. But our ancestors, the Merovingian Franks, buried everything. Swords and armor and shields and clothes and jewelry, all were buried. So we have tons of stuff left over from the Merovingians. And they had beautiful jewelry, very intricate brooches with enamel, gold necklaces and beads. They had belt buckles that were like the size of WWF like, championship belts, and these were the women. You know, these belts were huge, and you think the women in that time period weren't that large, so they were showing off a lot of treasure and wealth in just that. So,
Cool.
By our time period, we don't have that evidence, so we have pictures, and they don't have all that jewelry in the pictures. So either they got less ostentatious as time went on, or the people drawing the pictures were not, you know, as accurate. But the people drawing the pictures were usually monks, and the monks didn't get out a whole lot. So we have to take what they drew with a little grain of salt.
Right. Use their imagination.
Yep.
Oh.
And that's it.
Very cool.
But
Thank
you're
you.
welcome to come take a walk around. Our weapons and armor are over there. Alexander, would you like to show them some of the weapons and armor?
Sure.
And you can meet some of the ladies as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I see your weapons?
Yeah, let's see the
All right,
weapons.
so
This is what I like.
Axe,
yeah,
sword, helmet.
the primary weapons actually were shields and spears. That was what you were called in to actually wield when you came into the army. Now, as you can see, the shield is just planks of wood. They're pinned and glued together. They're edged in leather, sometimes faced in leather.
Yeah, the ones like
The only thing they cared about was to protect your hand. So this is a piece of steel that was actually made by the local blacksmith. It was one of the most common pieces. If your shield got damaged, you threw it in the fire, you pulled out your metal pieces again, you made a new one. These were throwaway pieces. They didn't really care about them, they just needed them for protection. Now as the main weapon, the spear was made to keep the enemy at a distance. Now, these are actually really sharp, so. The primary weapon of our enemy at the time period were the Saxons, and the Saxons fought with that.
There you go.
Most of them didn't have any real weapons. Some of them had axes, and that's the secondary weapon that everyone had. If you lived at the time period, you had an axe. You needed to cut firewood, you need to heat your house, cook food. Everyone had an axe. Now, Franks were named after this axe. It's called Francesca. It was a throwing weapon. And the front, what's that? No. Tomahawks are completely different, and yeah, they do look the same. It's the way that the Francesca is a swept hilt or swept point. And what happened was the front line of Charlemagne's army, every man in the front line carried one of these or two of these. And as they approached, the whole front line would throw. Now whether you hit someone or not, it didn't matter. The way these were built is they tumbled. So they rolled. So whether or not it landed on someone or not, as that approaching army came, this would be sticking in the ground, possibly like that. Oh, I gotta wear leather shoes. If I step on that, I'm useless. I can't walk. And that was actually one of the biggest killers in the army, was like sepsis and staph and infections of the blood. And it was just because of stepping on possibly a rusty axe head. Now if you're wealthy, you got a few other things. You got yourself a helmet.
Put it on your head. It'll hurt your neck for a while.
You got yourself some armor.
Oh
you go.
yeah.
Go ahead, put that on.
Okay, put it on, bud.
Go ahead. You got hold of it.
Oh my gosh, that's heavy.
I know, put it on.
Whoa, that's way too heavy.
I'll put it on.
This one won't fit you.
Oh, okay.
This is actually built for a guy that's actually smaller than our leader Lothar. I actually have to expand it to make it fit anyone bigger.
Oh, so it actually, it's like one piece.
Yes, it is a shirt.
Okay, okay. Wow.
Now, if you want to try one on, you can. This one's mine. It is rusty though, so.
I'll
You want to try that on?
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna. Here.
Here, hold this.
Yay, hold on.
Yeah, you kind of put it on like a t-shirt.
How do you put this on? Which way?
It's the way, so this is in the back,
Yeah,
so then you can see.
Arm through. There you go. Like I said, that one's mine, so it's gonna be big.
Woo!
On you.
Oh. this is heavy.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
your-
probably about 45 or 50 pounds.
I like that.
Yeah, the chain actually on that helmet goes behind to protect the back of your neck.
And to pick up one of those and put a helmet on.
Shield.
You have to be strong.
See, that's a workout right there. Back up a little so I can see it.
I'm ready.
Go with Daddy.
Hey, you have a helmet? Nice. Very nice. Now, would you wear a cover over this? Or just this?
It was actually, that was the outer layer.
Okay.
It was also, like I said, it was wealthy. Most landowners were required so many troops and so many, was required so many spears and so many axes. If you were wealthy or you had a group of landowners that were together, you'd have one they would consider, at the modern day term is your knight. It's basically your man at arms, your person that you wanted. Well, he was the man that was trained from birth, about 4 or 5 years old, to wield the sword. Because this was a wealthy person's weapon. Common man could not afford this.
So, common man had the spear.
Common man had spears and axes, only the wealthy had swords. Swords and chainmail. Chainmail could cost a couple of cows to actually purchase. Yes.
Okay.
Helmets were the same way, and then this, because of this was a, this was,
No, helmet.
No.
this
Stop. Don't play.
This was a specialty item. Your local blacksmith could not make one of these. This was made by a weapons master. And because of that, this weapon, you know, some landowners couldn't afford ever. They could own enough land that 30 or 40 people were farming their land, and they still couldn't afford this. So this was a specialty item. This was the extremely wealthy had these. That's why usually you had, if you had it, okay, well me, my neighbor, and his neighbor across the way, my neighbor on that side, well, all 4 of us would pool our money together, and we'd outfit one guy with a sword, a helmet, armor, and a horse. And everyone else that we had to supply went out there. There would be, I left it over there. That thing that looks like a leather bowl is actually a leather helmet.
Okay.
So your local leathersmith, someone that would actually, you know, make shoes and stuff like that, could make one of those. So that was fairly inexpensive. You get yourself a leather helmet, made yourself a couple of padded shirts,
Yeah.
and you went out there with your shield and your spear. So it was all specialty to own the sword and the wealthy.
And there were no like cheap swords. There was just
No.
Every sword was.
Every sword was made the same way by the same kind of masters. So they all had the same price. And the person that would wield the sword, like I said, you started, as soon as you were able to walk and understand what was going on, you were taught how to use it. And usually it was always your father, so if your father was usually the one at the current time
That had the sword.
was the one that wielded the sword, and then he trained you.
Wow. Pretty cool. I would become a Jedi like my father before me.
Kind of.
That's cool. That's cool. This is all neat. I love this stuff.
None of them bring some mushrooms out.
We gotta get a picture.
You done?
But the day is young.
I see you have like
Heads.
kind of creepy heads there.
Trophies.
Trophy.
Trophies.
Of your enemy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I'm doing something called card weaving. It's how they made the trim on their garments.
Okay.
And it's really ancient. That's the kind of loom they had, but they were usually huge. Like you'd sit in it, it would be this high. And the pattern, I just figured this one out. The pattern's really on the back, a good pattern. You look, yeah, I'm going forward. You change where the threads are by turning the cards. Now, I did this so kids could do it. It's simple, playing cards. So. Turn and watch the threads. Colors, different colors come up. And you can make all different kind of patterns. Twice.
Good.
General food normally made 10th century.
This is 10th century.
10th century. And we're
Danish white.
I got you. Kind of thought so.
Wow.
Those guys are 9th century. Yeah, it's like it's going from earlier to later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And then you'd reverse the direction.
fourth cohort of the
Pull it
24th
back
Legion
towards
down
you.
there.
And depending on the number of times you do it, once, twice, there are 4 threads in each card, so I'm doing it in 4s.
Okay.
They have cards that are made like hexagons, triangles.
And that gives you the different patterns.
Well, this pattern, it's okay there.
Oh, okay.
But that's what's coming out, and it's always different on the back.
Okay.
Very nice. This is kind of,
10th century
and
Danish Viking.
they're really strong. Super, super. Oh, yeah. It's really thick because the threads are twisted when you do that. Each time I do it, it's twisted.
What better
Now,
evidence that you want?
I think you do.
Oh, so it's like,
Plus, if you came into someone's camp and you saw all that, would you mess with them?
Probably not.
No, not me. Oh no. Oh no.
It's common practice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
And who are you guys?
10th century Danish Viking.
10th century Danish. Hey, shut up.
But it doesn't matter because this is just, you know, I
Well,
don't have
it's
to
going
plan
from earlier
anything.
to later.
To later,
The
okay.
Myself a
The further you go
winter
this way, the later it
It's
gets.
chilly out here.
Cool.
So I'll
Kind
start
of laid that out in a logical progression.
So you put this up in on the outskirts of your camp? The heads? Yeah. And it was this all the time or just right after a battle?
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
Wow.
Because they used to take, like, warring tribes, right? And
Right.
then take slaves from the warring tribes and stuff like that.
Like you said, I mean, you saw those, you know, what's like Vlad Dracula. Impaled these guys on stakes, and you know, and
It's a warning.
the Turks go, well, maybe not. You know,
so I know what you're doing.
if you scare them, you don't have to fight them. You know, there's a certain logic
Figure
to
out
that.
someone. Usually I have this on the table.
Nice.
This isn't really meant for, they didn't have rooms like this.
And so are the tents set up
Usually what they
inside,
would
like with
do
furs
is
and
they
stuff?
would
Like,
have a big
they would have
leather belt on.
Yeah,
They would tie this end around their belt. They put the other end
Kinda show
around
how
a tree
they,
or a stake
you know.
around. And you
They
just
lived pretty
lift
simple?
your
Yeah.
back up
Yes.
and
Oh,
you do
yeah,
it.
we do
I've done it at home watching TV.
Very nice.
Try to do a doorknob.
Wow.
And it's
They had-
easier, but I don't want to
They had
walk around
tents like this set up on long
Exactly.
ships, but they were
So, and
considerably
sometimes
bigger.
little
Okay.
kids will come
The
and
entire
they'll
crew would sleep. It actually, it just all folds up into a little neat little pile. You can pick this entire thing up and carry it off. Those folks over there moved that one twice
This is
today.
the
It
authentic
just takes 2 of them to pick it up.
kind of cards they use. They were made out of bone.
Nice. I guess that makes it
The
easy.
entire area is the same time period, or are these different time periods?
About
No, I put
about the
those in
same.
there because they could flip around
Yeah.
And wolf, coyote.
Well, it's coyotes.
side. Different colors, so I know where I am, so that when you're doing more intricate patterns,
around here and keep track of it. The coyotes are opposite.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Vikings or circus is where animals like this, another shock and awe sort of thing.
Well, and double purpose, warmth.
Oh yeah, right. See, people seem to forget that, you know, in Norway and Sweden and Finland and all that, it's cold.
Exactly.
It's cold.
Just a little chilly?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Woven textiles are great, but
you know,
furs are
they got
better.
icebergs and stuff there below. It's cold.
Yeah.
You know.
What kind of weapons did you use?
Spears and axes, mostly. That's the main one.
Okay.
There's a little shorter version of that.
Going across, I like that.
tomorrow. Bring it.
hand axe, and
They had people doing.
Dane axe. The fella's got another. A Dane axe. They're about this tall.
With the bigger blade.
Right. This is a hand axe. They had swords, but swords were for rich people.
Okay.
You know, a sword would be like buying a Bentley today. So didn't have a great proliferation of swords. That's why they find grave sites with swords in them, because it was a very highly prized thing, and they wanted to take it on to the afterlife with them.
Cool.
But they were really, really expensive and really hard to make. So they, if they didn't pass them down to their sons, they were buried with them. But this was much more common weapon, was a spear or an axe.
An axe.
And again, dual purpose.
Right,
for-
and then you can chop wood with it, cut somebody's head or,
Exactly. Hunting, skinning,
Right.
all that stuff.
Right.
Because
You got.
it gives you a blade that's wide enough that you can, skin your animals and.
Do you have a bow and arrow?
I don't have one personally,
Okay.
no, but they were good archers also.
Okay. Very nice.
Had a little subsistence existence. It's like they lived so they could eat and live another day and that sort of thing. But Vikings
They're linen.
known for being raiders, but it's like they were like farmers and fishermen.
Yeah, this was the curdle.
Before they were raiders, mainly,
Just
so they could
basic.
eat.
And then they were an
So,
apron.
that was 90% of what they did, was farm and fish and that sort of thing.
Breeding probably came out of the necessity of needing more.
They didn't
Exactly.
actually use it.
Yeah.
They would
Exactly.
Hey, the next door
They
neighbor
didn't
tribe has
have
this.
these elaborate ones
Yeah,
or
that would
something
come in
like
handy.
that.
Let's go get it, you know?
When they finally figured out how to navigate, when they found this place called Lindisfarne, and there's this big building there with all this gold and stuff in it, and these guys that won't fight you. Okay,
No.
all right, school's out.
Very nice.
Hey,
We slipped out on the furs once.
Fur.
Literally.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you make all the jewelry you're wearing?
Yes, I
Very
did. I used to make jewelry, so some of it I was explaining. These are like really the more authentic kind of beads that they did have during the period, and stone, carved stone, some clay. These are clay, and we know they traded. They went pretty far, so there could have been some African ones. So I threw those.
Cool.
In. Yeah.
Very nice.
they've
And-
actually found little statues of Buddha.
Oh, really?
Viking
Yeah,
tribes,
the Vikings were like
Right.
That's pretty
all
impressive.
over.
Buddha, and like that was like towards India.
And this
that
would have
sort of
been, a pretty
So,
wealthy
yeah,
person to
they
have
got around.
this much jewelry and these kind of brooches
Did
holding
you see
up.
his hammer around his neck?
Yes.
Oh, he's got more jewelry than I have.
Very nice.
Mine may be gaudier, but he's got more.
And what's the metal piece in your belt for? Right here.
Oh, that's a
Just how it buckled.
Oh, there it's a hook. It's cool.
hand forward. Phil lives in Washington, forged that. Made it out of a leaf spring from the truck, believe it or not.
Do you carve the runes on there?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it says gut ripper. His
Love
idea,
it.
not mine, but I was all for it when he told me about it. So I
Nice.
thought, yeah, that's cool.
He's like, I could use that for
I like
my
back
edge.
away.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you for the presentation.
Well, you are certainly welcome.
I'll save you, sir. Madam,
Hello.
welcome to La Belle Company. Right, step inside the camp and
Sure.
meet people.
Hello.
La Belle Company.
Hello.
Have you met La Belle Company before?
No.
No.
La Belle Company is the household of Sir Geoffrey Peel, an English knight. He and his men-at-arms and 20 of archers have been campaigning in France, and we recently had a remarkable victory a remarkable military victory at a town called Agincourt. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
King Henry V is on the throne, and he
Okay.
this was this was such a remarkable victory that it seems clear that that Henry will now be acknowledged as King of France as well as King of England, and this war that's been going on since before I was born will finally be over. But right now we're waiting on a boat to take us back to England. We've camped here in the fields outside Calais, which has been an English city for 150 years. We've camped here in the fields outside Calais to wait for a boat, and there's an awful lot of soldiers waiting for boats.
How long have you been waiting?
A few weeks. The battle was 2 weeks ago. It actually took a week to get here, and then we've been waiting for a few days. I think we've heard that there will be a boat here. That there will be a boat that can take us tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that would be nice.
Because it's getting sort of old.
I can imagine.
Here. Well, Calais is a lovely city, but when it's overrun with thousands of soldiers, suddenly everything becomes scarce and everything becomes expensive. What we had to pay for bean bread at the baker's was absurd. Ordinarily we wouldn't eat bean bread at all, but that's all we could get, and it was something like a penny a loaf. There's some of it over here if you'd like to.
I'll give some bean bread.
Ooh, oh, I'm in.
No.
What a shame.
I wouldn't recommend eating. We had some of that for lunch. The blancmange was much tastier, and the apple moy. At this time of year, apples are about what's in season. So we had apples and sauced apples, ground up and thickened with rice flour and spiced with I think cannel and ginger and saffron and things like that.
So
And
you
one
said
can
you-
always get cheese. It's France after all.
Cheese.
So you wouldn't try the bread?
No.
What's wrong with the bread?
Bean bread?
It's just been sitting out.
No, it's bean bread and overpriced bean bread at that.
Oh.
And this is oat cakes. Again, this is what we could get in the market.
Cool.
Well, I hope your boat comes soon,
Nice hat.
so you don't have to eat any more bean bread.
You're welcome.
Oh, at least you have nice beds waiting for the boat.
Let me get ahead of you.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
This is my tent.
My father is convalescing, so
Nice.
that is very important. He was trampled in the press of the battle. But fortunately, we have minstrels to entertain him.
There, you get to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Get out of the elements. Nice. Look at the boat. Look at that.
So, here is. Do you want to put that at the foot of the bed? So I'm here with my harness, head to foot.
Wow. And how heavy is that if you have it all on?
This particular harness, 60 to 65 pounds.
Wow.
Some are less.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, I've got a full male shirt under it. Some men will wear a male sleeves, a male skirt. I'll save a bit that way. I have these iron shoes called sabatons, and some will do without. You can see how cunningly articulated.
Wow.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Thank you for showing us your stuff.
Very nice.
Raise your warmth.
This is Google upstairs, taking the tour. This is Donna's butt. We can see as she bends over as we go up these stairs that are very hard to get up. We're gonna go up into the attic.
We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. This is not part of the normal tour. get an exclusive look at the attic because we're part of the Geeks and Ghosts podcast. Because we're awesome.
Shut your head.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Make sure we focus there. There we go.
Some of the furniture that's downstairs, is that original to the house, or is it just?
Most of it's reproduction are some
Okay.
original stuff.
Okay.
Some of it is original. Where we just were downstairs, that big green crate, that's original. Some of its chairs are original. But most of it's been redone.
Okay.
Most of it's modern reproduction stuff.
Okay. And obviously these are probably original.
No, I
No?
I'm pretty sure they're all reproductions.
Oh, really?
I don't know, actually, I'm not sure.
There you go. They're original reproductions. So,
They look pretty old to me. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to come across
Is
ones.
that little one there?
That probably isn't original, yeah. Now, if it's, I don't know if it's 1700s, it could be 1800s.
Okay.
Because there are some stuff that look colonial, but it's really more original.
Yes. So, just storage basically up here?
Yeah, women's storage. If they had people over, they could sleep up here. I mean, the way they did it was a caste system, so family members always got the best stuff. So direct family members would sleep in beds. If you had people come over and you had no other space, they can sleep up here, and you would move slaves and indentured servants somewhere else. If not, they could sleep up here. So it depends. Like I said, it was just they did it on a caste system, so it really depended.
cool.
Cutters? Pull that out and stuff.
Here we go down the treacherous staircase.
Yeah.
Watch your head.
Let's see how easy it is for me to fall down there. Yay! We won't get Donna blowing her nose.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get on that horsey. Wait, where's the horsey though? Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure that would support me at all. Here we go into a little, this is like a leap in time here. Went from old stuff to linoleum floors. Pretzels.
So this would have been, like I said, probably another bedroom. Actually, might have been two bedrooms, you know, split either, I guess, this way or this way. And then this would have also been another bedroom too. Not today, we just use it for.
It smells old in here.
Yeah.
Smoky.
And all your period dress.
Yep. Yeah.
You guys do ghost tours?
We do.
Is it in here, in the building?
Yeah, we do them all over, pretty much, throughout the entire farm. We have little stations set up.
Cool.
They used to do, they had, I forget what the name of the place was, they used to do, like ghost, I don't know, paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Mario was talking about.
Okay.
But I think something happened, one of the guys died, the main guy, so this year, we're going back to just like kids' ghost stories, stuff like that. Which is what we used to do back in like 2005, 06, 07, for a pretty long time. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Again, on the kitchen. So, modern plumbing, electricity, all that stuff.
Okay, is this the other side?
Ooh, modern plumbing. Look at that. Ooh, syrup.
Oh, this is fun.
Men. It says men. Why are you girls going up there? It says men. Oh, there's another attic. Nice.
He had built on, I guess. Someone used to dig drywall that in at one point.
Yeah, somebody redid it.
That looks like a body.
It does on the wall.
There you go. That's what I'm going with. Somebody was up against here screaming. It's her handprint on the left there.
Yeah.
That's it. They were scratching at the wall. Get me out of here!
That's funny. Get me out.
What was his name? Sloth? From
Yes.
the Goonies?
Yes.
That's where Sloth was.
In the back room.
Sloth, love, chunk.
Put him in the attic.
Everybody else go first down the dangerous,
Yeah.
scary staircase so that when I fall I have something to land on.
Jeez.
See, I was thinking about you. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I made it down. Coming through again.
That's totally Winchester House.
Party. Party, party, party. Party. Ooh, kids. There's the beer guy.
You heard the dinner bell?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Fire truck.
look at that.
That you need.
Real food.
Oh, that's me too.
Get ready to bottle some.
Pie.
10 gallons of apple wine.
Didn't even see that before.
At ESB. And
Oh.
Please excuse me.
Absolutely.
Big pie.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Let
said
the
that
lady
they're
through.
cool?
So they have pie crust?
Watch out, move.
Watch out. What's that?
I need a plate.
Please, got. Please put this back.
Yeah. Yeah. No canning yet. Canning would have been until 1800s, so it would have done a lot of stuff with jars, pickling, stuff like that.
Yeah. Pie. Pie girl. Not pie yet. It's pie crust.
Yep, it's crust right now. Hold on.
You want to eat an empty pie? Yeah. What? I like pie crust. We're just like, we'll be having pie for dinner too. Meat pie.
A meat
And
pie.
apple pie. We'll have 3 pies today. I think there's pie for lunch too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once a week,
We'll be
cooking,
there.
baking your bread.
We didn't
do
break-
1 penny loaf a day for each person. So if you have 10 people in your family, 7 days a week.
Hey, where's my
7 days a week.
custard?
What's a penny
Plus
loaf?
Over there.
Penny loaf's about those little, they're back there, but it's about
Figured that I was like,
that
right
size.
there, I got to touch it.
Okay.
It's like a small. Yeah.
So I could try some. You will try some. It's so good. It's like whipped cream, but better. Why aren't you eating any of it? I am.
So, how this works is,
Here.
let me move the pie so you can take like some of the stew, some of the pork, and then you put some of the pot roasted venison stew stuff on.
Oh my goodness.
That
sounds so awesome.
You take a piece of pork. And remember, there's a lot of people to feed, so you're more like tasting it. Just a little bit. But if you take a piece of pork and then you put some the pot roasted stew over it, yummy.
And then the stew on top of that pork.
I don't want any.
Yeah. That's personally what I would do.
Sounds
Yeah. I don't want any.
You're gonna
too much. They turn to beer, cider, hard cider, all that kind of stuff. On here, it depends. You may be able to get away with it. In Philadelphia, definitely not, because they were just throwing stuff in chamber pots right out the window. So they had no understanding of germs, bacteria, stuff like that back then. So
Don't fall down the well, Timmy! You can see stuff in the bottom. And it, yeah, it does have a smell to it.
yeah, yeah, it has been cleaned out in how many hundreds of years.
That's just awesome, though.
That was cool.
That's cool.
Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. What's your name?
Rich.
Rich? Thank you very much, Rich.
It's really, we don't know. We don't know much about it.
Okay.
We know it's the oldest building. It's probably about 300 years old, 1698, 1699
Wow.
is the date on it. There's a little thing that says JP on the bottom, carved into foundation. JP 1698, 1699, something like that.
We should go see that.
We don't know, like I said, what they really used it for. It could have been a spring house. They could have used it for a smokehouse. They could have kept straw up there, but they would have had an ice house probably back here somewhere. Or maybe there's some little, over here, there's some stones left over, like the foundation. So there could have been an ice house over there. So they could have kept straw up there to keep it insulated. We really don't know. They could have lived there for a while, even while they were building the first part of the house.
Okay.
So yeah.
I know, it actually feels the heat coming out with the warmth. And definitely not the ice house.
Come on, you can make it. Make it up the hill.
Hello.
How are y'all today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
What you doing?
I'm spinning.
You're spinning. Wow.
Yes.
That's a big loom. I know.
They used to have these at textiles. Yeah, it's a barn loom, and it's called a barn loom because it would have spent most of its life in pieces in the barn. As you can see, it's really big, so they would have just put it together when they needed it, and then put it back in the barn and let it sit the rest of the year. So we're showing textile processing in here. We do fleece and flax, turning it into linen, and then we show the final result on the, usually on the loom, but we're between projects on the loom right now. So have you been to see the animals yet?
No.
I walked by them.
We've got all kinds of animals. With the most important ones for textiles are sheep. So we've got several sheep, and they get their wool once a year. The farmer comes and shears them. He does it like you're taking off a jacket. Starts at the middle, works his way out. So you get one big sheet of fleece. And then what you do then is skirt it, which is getting all the nasty bits off the edge. And then you can, if you're going to wash it, you can do it at that point, or you can wash it later. Or you can not wash it at all. If you have fishermen sweaters, they want the lanolin to stay in.
Yeah, they need all
so they wouldn't wash it at that point. But most of the times you're going to wash it. And then you do what's called carding, which I'll show you is right over here.
With the brushes.
With the brushes, that's right. So you get a little bit of wool, put it on the cards, and then you just gently brush the two cards together. What you're trying to do is straighten out the fibers so they all go in one direction, and also get the rest of the little bits and pieces of straw and stuff out. You do it more than I did it, but that's just enough to show you. And then when you're done, you kind of roll it backwards. Make what's called a roll egg. And then this you give to the spinner, and it's ready to spin. So flax is a little bit different. Flax is a plant. And here it is over here.
Oh, wow.
This is the flax plant. And the fiber that you want is actually on the inside. There's a covering, so you want what's in the inside. And this is, you get flax seed, linseed, all those things. It all comes from the flax plant. got real pretty blue flowers right at the top of the stalk. Okay. So the first step is to put it through the pull it out of the ground first. It's got a lot of fibers that run straight through the roots, so you don't want to cut it off, you want to pull it out.
Okay.
You lay it on the bank and let the dew get to it. It's called retting or rotting, trying to get rid of that outer covering. Once it's been out there for a couple of weeks, then you bring it in and put it in the flax break. And we'll do it because it's messy, but you pound it, boom, 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 trying to get more and more of that cover off, in and out. And then the next step is the scutching board, which is this right here. You get the scutching knife. That's all right, no worries. Won't hurt that one. Oh, thank you. And I'm right-handed, so I'm at the wrong angle. But you hit it and you hit it and you hit it. You just try to get more of the outer covering off.
Okay.
And then the final step is called hatcheling or hatchling. And you'll see why we keep these covered in a second.
Oh. Hello. Oh, I saw them in the
House
attic.
of Hoarders.
And I didn't know what it was. Okay.
Yes. And so you put the flax through and you pull and you pull and you pull. And the good stuff stays. It gets finer and finer.
Okay.
And what's left in there is called tow. Have you ever heard of tow-headed child?
No.
It's like a collar of hair. Okay. That's what they call it. And it almost is like burlap. So when you're finally done and you've finished all your steps, this is what you have left. And you're welcome to touch it. Rapunzel. Wow. It is. It feels very much like hair. Mm-hmm. And people knew how much work went into this, and so you could use this as like a trade item for number of chickens or whatever it would happen to be. So and then this is ready to spin. Actually, you wind them tightly like this. That one's kind of come undone. So you can spin on flax or wool on the same wheel. And don't mind this, I have this here to keep the wheel from going this way. You use what's called a distaff for flax. You put the flax on top of the distaff and you feed it in. For wool, those roll eggs that we showed you, this is roving, which is, we had this machine done. I mean, this was done professionally. But it's the same type of thing. It's the roll eggs, all it's one big roll egg. So for what you do, there's a bobbin here, there's a whirl, and then there's the flyer. Now this string is not connected to the wool at all. This is just the dry band to make the wheel go around.
Okay.
It's called a double drive wheel. There's one section of the string that goes here, which drives how many RPMs you get from each push of the pedal. The bigger the whirl, the slower your wheel goes. So you learn on the big whirls and they get smaller. We only have one, so we only learn on one. The bobbin is where the yarn goes, the finished product, and then the flyer is what holds the thread out, and you go up and down to put your yarn on the bobbin wherever it's the least full. And it comes through the orifice. And what you do is you take the end that you've already spun with the fuzzy end of the new, kind of mesh them together, and you hold really, really tight. What you're trying to do is get that twist to come in. The only thing that holds all these fibers together is the twist. So you want a nice even twist and keep your thread the same thickness. That's what I'm working on today. I'm still learning, so it won't be perfect, but I'm getting better. So you just hold it until you feel the twist. I'm getting a little too thin, which is why it broke. So it takes some practice. It's kind of like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time.
I still can't do that.
Coordination.
It takes practice. It really does. So I thought today would be a perfect opportunity for me to practice my spinning. We have other folks who volunteer at the plantation who are much better at spinning, and I let them show the public, and then kind of learn on my own here, but it'll work. Let's try this again. And you always turn the wheel the same way. You're putting the twist in the yarn, and I'm putting in what's called an S twist. This makes what's called singles. You heard of 2-ply yarn, 3-ply yarn?
Yeah.
Well, that's you put multiple singles in together. Got too thin again. I can't talk and spin at the same time. But if I put
so glad I can go to
Joann's and buy it, right?
Yeah.
So, but if I was putting singles together to make a plied yarn, I would turn the wheel the other way, because otherwise I'd get too much twist in it.
Okay.
You get too much twist in it, it gets all really nasty. It looks like that bitter beer commercial face.
Well, how do you make the wheel turn the other way?
Just turn it the other way.
Start it spinning the other way.
Just send it this way.
Just okay.
Yep.
Same control with the foot.
Absolutely.
It's just what you started to do.
Yeah, it goes up and down, and whatever way you started is the way it's going to go.
Okay.
If you're spinning and you stop and it'll start kicking back and go the other way, you'll get a mess here. So that's not something you want to do. All right, so let's see if I can do this right this time. And I can
Only spin it once.
yes, unless you're doing applying it, then you know add others. I'm still getting thin. Yeah, like I said, I'm still learning. But
You're doing pretty good.
well, I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a lot better. I learned actually on this wheel, which doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's got its own peculiarities, but since I learned on it, I'm kind of used to them.
You sound so funny. Oh.
It wasn't me.
That's Kenny. He's not gonna do it now. There he goes. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. It sounds so funny. I'm sheltered. I love the pigs. The pigs are awake now. Good girl.
There's bacon. Bacon. Look at this secret access. Oh my goodness.
Cracks and turkey.
Thought I heard you.
There's one.
Oh wow, that's sausage chicken. What are you doing? Hi. You come when you're called turkey. Watch Kenny come He's gonna
Get it.
He's right there.
Though if it flies off, it's gonna freak me out.
Turkey, rooster.
Oh boy.
The turkey's right here. Turkey.
There he
Called
is.
the turkey. Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, there
Oh,
he
he's
is.
fucking. There's the rooster.
There's rooster.
Oh, pretty boy. Hi. How you doing? What you doing? Come on. I need to fatten up that turkey.
I know.
Hey, cutie. You make a lot of noise.
Loud.
It's because you're dinner. Oh yeah. Dinner.
I like the turkey. He's coming at you. You must smell good. He's coming after you.
Hi, baby turkey.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, baby turkey.
Oh, look, it's right there. You're gonna hurt me. Ow.
Well, you dumbass. What are you putting your finger in there for?
You can get my eyeball. Oh, that hurt.
You're dumbass.
Did you get it? He got it.
Where is he?
There you go.
I can't believe you stuck your finger in there.
I know.
Stop torturing it.
Torturing it? He's taking it. He's taking it.
Freaking out.
Let me see your finger. Dumbass.
What are you doing?
Show your finger.
He didn't get it. It just hurts.
Oh, yeah, they'll peck.
He's just a turkey. He came when he was called.
They peck our buttons, too. They'll peck anything that's shiny.
And he was in the bind. I'm like, look at the city people fascinated with
That's the poop.
the turkey.
Oh,
Oh, here's Kitty. Hi.
I shall name that one Lou.
Lou. Speak, Lou. Speak.
Lou, call me. What do you think about Star Trek? Lou. What do you think about tacos? Lou.
Nothing.
Had to think about that one. I like Lou. Lou loves me.
Oh,
Nothing.
You love me.
So immature.
You are immature.
He's like, what is that?
Hi. Hi. You got nice horns. I like these horns. They feel hollow. Poopy. Watch the poopy.
Well, obviously, when you're training them to be a work animal, it's better to have them. Instead of the,
This would also be low.
like on Delilah, which just makes the whole thing easier. You guys have any questions about farm careers?
Mama gets to learn. Mama gets to learn.
Yes. And then Garnet over here, she is a workhorse. She's a salt, it's called.
Hi. Hi.
And that would be pretty much her workhorse. This would be doing full wagon, plowing the field, doing all the heavy work. So, Colonial tractor.
How much does she weigh, you know, about?
Oh, it's like 2,000 pounds, I would imagine. You can see the difference, I mean, how much bigger.
Yeah, but just in the legs and that.
Yeah, the whole lot, yep. Wide, big. They're always a bay collar. This big horse, and they're endangered too.
Oh, wow.
Originally from England.
Look at the size of the legs on this guy. Is it Garnet?
Garnet, yep.
Garnet.
And she is, I think she's about, I don't know, I'm not sure how old she is actually. And this guy back here, he is actually a little over a year old.
Wow.
You'll see, when we go back out here again, you'll see the mother of this guy. He was born last June. So he's about a year and...
Look behind the Good thing you didn't walk behind this
I know.
Oh, there it is. Pooping.
So,
Got that on
it's
video.
a little over a year. Mother is back that way, and they are a mix between a Black Angus and Shorthorn.
Now I'm hungry.
Back then, though, in the colonial times, they didn't really breeding, like naming breeding, didn't come about really until the 1800s. So in the 1700s, they would call it black cow, red cow, or red breed, something like that. They didn't have Black Angus, Red Angus like we have today. That's a pretty, I guess you can kind of say a modern thing in a way.
He's like, wait, you're still only about a year old?
Yep, a little over a year now.
So much
So
growth
June,
in 1 year?
So Junie would have been, this past Junie would have been 1.
Wow. Oh?
Up.
Is that
the
Mama?
Mother, yep.
Let's go check out Mama.
Here, pretty much they can just go wherever they want. I mean, they can go, they can find their way out. They can go up that hill there, come back down this way,
Oh, they
come
just
down
kind
the
of
road.
roam.
Pretty much, they go down there, go down to the creek back here, drink
Oh,
the
wow.
water from the creek. They follow, they kind of follow a path.
Okay.
Like if you watch them throughout the day, it's, I mean, we don't know why, but they
Right.
just follow a certain path. Like you can almost time it to at 2 o'clock.
You'll find
They'll
them at
be
a certain spot.
down there. They'll always be down by that bridge. So.
Hey.
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 Hi.
This barn actually goes back to, I think, like the 1800s. So it's not exactly our period. You get the idea.
Cool. Very cool.
I wonder who we open up over.
That's where they hide the bodies.
Yeah.
Right there.
We just use it for
woodworking, drawing stuff, tobacco, corn, stuff like that.
And then loft up.
Yep, well, that's what we're doing the tobacco.
Bones.
Yep.
I see sheep.
Yeah,
Horse.
sheep.
That's a big.
Groundhog.
The top one's a horse.
Or
Wow.
beaver.
This is a groundhog.
She said beaver.
Dog and sheep.
I have a box.
Cool.
And again, this barn would have been not really. They would have had something like this. This barn is more, again, 1800s.
Yeah, I don't think they have the
Oh, no.
Don't miss. These are blunt, but the sword's not going to cut through. It doesn't bend. So the technique is to use a sword like this and grip it out here. Right? You're not wearing harness. You don't even have the breastplate on. So, tell you what, you know some of the techniques. Give me that one for now. Right? No, the armored techniques. Right? Where is he going to try to put it?
What do you think?
Right? He's not going to be able to push the point through the plate armor.
In his face.
Where? Point.
Yeah.
That's a real good one. I might try to get in here. Come up, get into his armor.
Except I got armor under there.
Oh.
Hurry up.
You were.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right?
So I try to get into here.
Right? Yeah, that's where he wants to put it. But when I'm ready to fight, it's going to look like that to him.
Now where do I put it? I can't put it in there anymore. Well, I'll try to do this, and he's going to block me. Where else can I hit it?
I don't know.
See, that's the problem. I don't know either. Because
So
the
what
good
does
armor
he have
guy-
to do? He has to make me move.
Right? So, you got to engage something.
Come on, Tom, you can find something. Right? That's not going to hurt me. But if he gets it in there like that and then pushes the pommel up hard, keep pushing. See how he can turn me? And once he gets me turned around while I'm trying to recover from that, he'll try to find a place in the back. That makes sense?
You're going to work on his backside? As opposed to like a nice, you know, a nice piece of beef that was raised for this purpose.
You braise it, you're good.
Hello.
Oh.
What you making?
Actually, you were just reheating.
Reheating
Oh,
the pie.
okay.
I was just about to take a picture of the pie.
I don't think that cell phone's period.
It's okay. She's not really with us.
Okay.
I'm an interloper.
She's the doctor.
Yeah.
Cataputa.
Cataputa.
Ballistic stones, they're a lot bigger than just stones and missiles.
Yeah.
These two pointy things are anti-personnel.
Okay.
Yeah, just,
There. Yeah, fire it off.
Fire it off. Oh yeah.
That's the live round.
That's the. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll go through you.
Sweet.
Okay. Drops in
Load
there.
it
Nice.
up. You want to see it go over?
Yeah, I would love to see it go off.
Oh, you'd love to see it go over.
I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah.
I would love it. Yeah.
Load it.
Catapulta Parate!
A lot of pressure behind those ropes. The torsion system. See the twisted ropes?
Shoot a live round. That's what you want to see. I know.
Yeah, because I'm blind.
The live
So,
round.
I'm blind, so.
Catapult Yakate!
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's in there.
I
think it's by the edge of
The big tall green plant right on the other side.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Do you want us to go find it for you?
Go ahead, that's your job. You're the assistant.
I'll go find it.
She's the retriever.
I'll go get it.
Thank you.
I'll go with you and help you out.
Oh, does it get stuck in the ground?
Yeah, because we call it,
So, when you're in combat, how many would there be of this?
There would be maybe 10 of these to a legion.
Okay.
Each cohort of 480 men would have probably one of these assigned to it.
Okay.
There's a smaller version like the shoulder, I call it a scorpion. It shot regular sized arrows.
Okay.
There'd be 59 of those to a legion or so. Each century had one of them assigned to it.
Okay.
One of the squads, or Cartaburnium,
Wow.
would be assigned as to handle the scorpion. This is really a large arrow shooter, or it could be a small stone thrower. It's set up to shoot arrows. I can't shoot stones. I have to change the sling
Okay.
to make it throw stones. And it's a narrow throat.
Okay.
The ballista, by definition, is a much larger engine, 10, 12 feet high.
Whew.
And I have one at Pensick, shot a 3-pound ball 600 feet. It's awesome. It's
Wow.
like half a ton on the ground.
Right.
There. Each of the big things on the sides are like 300 pounds apiece.
Wow.
The winders, you know. It's just,
That's cool.
yeah, it's a massive. This here is a real crowd pleaser.
And did you guys build this yourself?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to build this?
Well, it's been an over 10-year effort. You know.
Wow.
Well, it was built, but there's been improvements.
Right.
I've made it more period correct, and it's working very well now. Put the double ratcheting. It used to be tougher to work and everything, so now it's got it's faster to run.
That's cool. It looks beautiful. That's what it looks like. Looks like they found it. And this would be used against incoming armies?
Personnel.
Any personnel,
It's
okay.
any personnel. We're shooting at high trajectory, plunging fire. But
Right.
it's more of a direct fire weapon.
Okay.
This guy's all doomed up.
On with your ballista, huh? Yeah. Shed that armor and I'm stepping out onto town.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm not about to walk about
Awesome.
60 pounds of steel.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
for shooting that off. Yep.
Glad you like.
Yeah, what is this name here? The hop?
Oh.
I believe that everything will be fine with a great craft beer.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the demonstration.
Hey, no problem.